All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing? 1% Club. Man, glad to be here. Glad you're all here jumping in. Um, just for any of you that may not know me, name's Tom Daves. Pretty much born and raised in the greater Sacramento area, married with three kids and four grandkids. Been in real estate over 35 years. And my favorite saying is from Wayne Gretzky, the great one. You have to skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it's been, right? So through my real estate career, I've been blessed to, in most cases, be ahead of that puck, where that puck is going to be, not where it's been, whether it was traditional real estate or REOs. I was selling 400 or 500 homes a year, multiple year after year. Hooked up with Blackstone private equity. One year sold them over 600 homes, individual homes in 1 year. Had a big team. I was with Keller Williams Realty, loved it. It was great. I was there for 19 years, and seven of those, I was honored to be the top number one agent worldwide for all of Keller Williams, seven different times. So that was pretty cool. Had a big team. Moved over to eXp Realty 7 years ago. I've been an icon seven times, and it's just been an amazing journey to build my organization. I have an organization of over 800 agents all over the world, and I just love pouring in, giving back, growing the organization, and supporting everyone to reach their full potential. So wanted to share just a little bit about kind of what I'm hearing out on the streets right now, talking about skating to where the puck is going to be. We all know that the market has shifted. It is shifting. It's always going to shift, right? But I'm hearing a little bit of nervousness, to be honest with you. Right now, everyone is putting together their plans for for 2026 goal setting. By the way, Verl Workman, the legend, is going to be doing an amazing class tomorrow and Thursday, goal setting, and it's also going to be on Zoom, I understand. So, but anyway, what I'm hearing out there is there's basically two different groups. I'm hearing one group of people that, man, I hit my goals last year. Let me go ahead and set my goals for next year. And then I hear the other group, which, I mean, I'll be honest with you, most of the people I talked, they didn't quite hit their goal this last year. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of fear in both of those cases. The agents that did hit their goals, they're wondering, wow, can I do it again? Was it just luck? Was that an anomaly? Now do I have to double down? So what am I going to have to do? And then the agents that did not hit their goals, they're really scared. They're nervous. What am I going to have to do? How am I going to double down? How am I really, can I make it? Is this the right business for me? And we just can't let fears dictate our actions. And another thing is our production is not who we are, right? It's never who we are. We can't let that determine our worth. We have to basically let our process determine our success. It basically all comes down to the process that we put together on a daily basis. And I'm in a group called GoBundance. It's a group of entrepreneurs and successful people that all collaborate together. Jim Rohn says you're the sum total of the five people you spend most time with. And so one of the exercises that we go through is we start off, when we're doing our goals, we start off with our values. That's always the first thing that we need to ask ourselves is, what are our values? And we also have to have create a goal that has a purpose and meaning in your life. I remember when I was with KW, I actually got some one-on-one coaching from Gary Keller. It was kind of cool. And he had a class called Quantum Leap. And one of the things that he asked was, he said, okay, everyone close your eyes and imagine you only have 30 days left to live. 30 days left to live. What would you do? Who would you spend time with? Who would you want to be around? What would you want to pour into? And so we all thought about that. And of course, then he said, okay, well, when you set your goals and you create your life journey and your big why, it should not be that different than if you only had 30 days to live. It should not be diametrically opposed to that. It should be in alignment with your life and your values and your future. So that's always the first, is your values. What are your values? And then number two is vision. We all have to have a vision. Okay, what's your vision? Where do you see yourself? What do you enjoy doing? And then number three, then it comes down to goals. Then it's goals. What are your goals? And then number four is our habits. And I know that in real estate, we've heard of, the five most important things in real estate, or what's our job description. I mean, quite frankly, our job description it comes down to those five things, and you've probably all heard them before. Number one is lead generation. We're not in the real estate business, we're in the lead generation business. And number two is follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up, and we need to follow up. The majority of our business comes from 90% of the business comes from follow-up. So don't let anything slip between the cracks. Have a system that is just going to be unfailable follow-up. So we've got lead generation, lead follow-up, and then we've got appointments, setting appointments, going on appointments, meeting with people face to face, eyeball to eyeball, belly button to belly button, toe to toe, right? We're in the relationship business. Yes, AI is great, but nothing really happens until we create that relationship and we make a difference for others. And then the next is negotiating contracts. So we need to be experts at negotiating. And that is one of our core foundational values that we add. For example, when I go out on a listing appointment, I share everything that we do, everything that I do. I've got marketing, we've got billboards, we've got, 20 million viewers to the website every single month. We've got all of this cool AI stuff. And then it's crazy. You might agree, or you might relate to this, but have you ever finished your listing presentation and then you get to the end and they're like, well, gee, you're all the same. All realtors are the same. But what do you do different? You're like, 20 million viewers a month. I've got billboards. I've got all of this. What do you do different? So there's three things that we can all say in that instance that we really differentiate ourselves. Number one is marketing. No one markets as good as me. And the key is marketing. Number one, don't you agree marketing is the number one? Yes. Oh, yeah. Marketing. And then number two, how I differentiate myself is negotiating. I've negotiated over 7,000 for 7,000 clients so they can successfully reach their goal, sell their home, and move to Walla Walla, Washington. And then the third is just the ability to get the job done. Isn't that what you really want? Someone that's going to you can push the easy button and get the job done. So back to my 5 job description items. Number one, lead generation. Number two, lead follow-up. Number three is setting appointments and going on appointments. Number four is negotiating contracts. And then number 5 is practice and role play. look at any successful football team, 49ers, or any successful football team, sports, athlete, you name it, and they practice. They spend so much time. I mean, look at the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at Seth Curry. I mean, Tom Brett, on and on. They practice. Okay. We just have to practice. So those are the things that are the job description of the real estate agent, and everything else should be delegated. It should be someone else should be handling it. So I wrote down four other things that are key this time of year for success and for the real estate agent. So number one is when we create a goal, as I mentioned, we need to have a goal with purpose and meaning. So that's number, why are you doing this in the first place? Okay. And whenever you're making calls, you get a little bit bummed out, and um, that's going to keep you going. Because let's face it, this business is tri-pronged. There's three different days that we have, right? I think break it into thirds. Number one, some days are great. Number two, some days are okay. Number three, some days suck, right? So we have to realize that. So, but when you're in the trenches and you're doing what you need to do, you have to have that foundation. Why am I doing this in the first place? I'm doing it to serve. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it so I can, so I can retire, whatever. And then number two is create a process to reach that goal. We have to create that process. Number three is track the numbers and monitor what you're doing. Because if you don't, you have to, you can't measure what you don't manage. Something like that. I goofed that up, but you have to measure your numbers so you can really track it. Because if you're making, 100 calls a day and you're not converting anything, well, then it might be your scripts. So you need to take a look at that. And then the next one is add value in every single conversation that you have. And so it all really boils down to our process and what we do on a daily basis. Because, well, for example, Jim Rohn says success is really nothing more than doing a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. And we have to remember that, and we have to keep it simple. And then we also have to remember that 20% of our activities will give you 80% of the results. And so we have to stay focused on what's going to move the needle and how we're going to succeed and what will take us there. In fact, I just read a great book. I've read it and listened to the Audible several times, and it's 10x is easier than 2x. Benjamin Hardy and I forget the other, but anyway, 10x is easier than 2x. And there's basically, so I used AI to pull out the top 10 tips from 10x is easier than 2x, right? So number one is to identify your unique ability. So how do you do that? How do you determine what is your unique ability? Well, it's something you enjoy. It's something that is your superpower. It's something that comes easy for you. And it's something that you feel that you get some energy doing it. So just clearly identify where you're going to focus your energy and maximize that skill, spreading yourself instead of spreading yourself to other tasks. So once you've done that, eliminate the 80%. You just have to ruthlessly analyze and cut out, I mean, basically the majority of the things that don't make us any money and that we're not in our superpower. Those are the things that we usually don't enjoy doing. We need to delegate. Um, and that's going to really, really move the needle. So, um, and we have to say no. We have to be willing to say no to things. I mean, so many, I mean, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, you name it, they quote that their success is more about what they said no to than what they said yes to. So we have to be willing to say no. And then the third is set 10x goals. Don't settle for small little incremental improvements. Just go for some big ass BHAG goals that are ambitious and that really, really put us out of our comfort zone. In fact, I journal every day, and one of the things that I journal is embracing discomfort. Did I embrace discomfort yesterday? Well, how can I embrace discomfort today? To be totally honest with you, I used to have a limiting belief of conflict, that I had a fear of conflict. I told myself, because I grew up in my dad was an alcoholic, and whenever he would come home drunk and, pissed off or whatever, my sister and I would go scamper in the bedroom and we would just sit and kind of wait for things to calm down. And then we would come out and be with the family and have dinner or whatever. And that was my way of coping. Okay, well, whenever there's any conflict, you just need to either shut down, shut off, or chill out. But what I've learned to get past that ceiling of ceiling of complexity, um, and a fear of conflict is I started affirmations. Affirmation is another thing I do every day with um, when I'm doing my journaling. So my new affirmation is conflict is a source of growth, clarity, and love. Isn't that good? Conflict is a source of growth, clarity, and love. And it's just amazing when you push yourself through that ceiling of complexity. For example, I had a difficult conversation with someone yesterday, and I wasn't excited about it, but once I did, I had a spark of endorphins and adrenaline. You ever notice that? When you say no, you get a little spark of endorphins or energy. Um, so that's what we have to say no to things. So I'm just going to review real quick the 10 top tips for 10x is easier. Number one, identify your unique ability. Number two is eliminate the 80%. Say no. Three is set 10x goals. Just go big. And then the next one, four, is focus on quality over quantity. If you want to increase your income for the year, there's so many different things that you can do besides just more transactions. Okay. Well, why don't I raise my price, raise the geo farm that I'm working, my price. Why don't I work with more luxury clients? Why don't I there's so many different things that you can do to focus on quality over quantity, because we all got into this business to select our clients, not that let them select you. So we really need to enjoy this business and work with people that we like. It'll clear things up. The next is delegate effectively. Delegate tasks that are out of our unique ability, and they really free up your time and strengths. What does Brent always say? Delegate to accelerate or something like that. Anyway, the next one is embrace discomfort. No matter what it is, I cold plunge every day, and that's embracing discomfort. And I'm like Tony Robbins. I don't think about it. I don't want to think about it. Don't just do it, right? So I do the cold plunge every single day. Everything in life, to be honest with you, is uphill. John Maxwell says that life is uphill. life is challenging, and that's what helps us grow as a person, and that's who we become. And we have to just realize that and share that with others as well as our kids. And then, of course, manage your time strategically. Create focus time. When are you at your best? Usually for me, I'm usually at my best in the mornings. I do my calls and my lead generation in the mornings because then you can have the most energy to get the best results. Next is develop a buyer mindset. Think of yourself as someone who can choose and will choose the best opportunities and not settle for anything less but exceptional. Then number 9 is continually learn and grow and adapt. We need to grow and learn and adapt continually every morning. I listen to podcasts or videos when I'm working out so I can learn and grow and adapt. And then the last is build strong relationships. Our our wealth is not determined by our income. Our wealth is determined by our relationships. So who are your board of directors? Who are your wealth determiners? That's one of the things that I have on my goal every single day. I basically have 10 things that every single day that I have a couple of accountability partners that I'm going to accomplish, and that's one of the things that is on my list. Another thing, I'm sorry, let me turn this thing on. Another thing is conversations. We have to take it down to conversations every single day. My goal is to have 20 conversations a day, 5 days a week. That's 100 conversations. Sometimes, you might have to make, 100 or 200. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I do have a dialer. I have a 10-line dialer that's just nuts. It's insane. Sometimes I'll make up to 11 to 1200 dials to get my 20 conversations. And so these are either agents or leaders that I'm trying to add value and attract, or they are sellers, or they're my database, or they're agents in my organization. So if we have conversations every single day, and if we have a goal to have those, and if we have an accountability partner, then we're definitely going to be able to succeed, reach our goals, and move forward. So just a little bit more about, because we're talking about going into the new year. Don't overthink it. Last weekend, when I was planning on setting my goals, I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go and grab all my goal sheets for the last 3 years. So I got all the goal sheets, got all my notes, and I got all that down, and I went through it. And I'll be honest, after about an hour, I'll be honest with you, I got overwhelmed. Just keep it simple and take it down to the simplest format and the daily activities and the things that you can do every day to to fulfill your life and your dreams so you feel better and you're going to achieve the things that you want to achieve. One of my GoBundance, one of the events that I went to, one of the things that we did was we put together our life plan. And so broke it down into spiritual contribution, health, family, personal growth, lifestyle, adventure, relationships, environment and tribe, and then financial investments. And we used AI to help us achieve that. And it was really awesome for us to put this all together and take it down to what our plan is, our life plan for our future. And then we actually wrote a eulogy, and we broke it down. Okay, so let's say, the first one was what, of course, eulogy. What would someone write at your funeral. And it's kind of interesting to write it like I wrote it for my wife, what my wife, what I'd like my wife to say, what I'd like my kids to say, and then also what I would like my friends and colleagues to say. And what occurred to me is, wow, there's a couple of areas that in my life that don't really match with what I would like for them to say. So, um, so those are a few things that, that I've changed. And, spending more time with the family, spending more time with the kids and the grandkids, really, really trying to pour and serve it, serve others. And I'll just jump into since we're talking about goals and habits. So my morning routine is I usually wake up between 4 and 5. I don't really have an alarm, but I wake up real early in the morning. And first thing I do, drink 18 ounces of water, put a little bit of rock salt in there, sea salt. Brent told me about that, water. And then get a little coffee going, have my quiet time, read the Bible, pray, and then I stretch really, really good. And then I start my workout. That's when I put on my headset and I'll listen to a podcast and I will start my workout. And that's when I turn on my phone. I always try and leave my phone off for the first hour when I get up. That's the best thinking time. I mean, I used to just, as soon as I would wake up, have the phone by my side of my bed. Well, let me check it. Let me check my phone. No, the morning is the most creative time for you. So no phone. So then I will do my workout. I either work out at home in the garage. I've got a gym, sauna, cold plunge, or I'll go to the gym or go for a bike ride. And then after I do that, then it's 4:30 a.m. I'm just kidding. Um, then it's usually about 6 or so. I'll hang out with the family, with my wife. We have some coffee with my teenage daughter. And then I get ready for the day and either work out of the house or head down, come down to the office. I'm in Brent Gove's office. I'm right next to him here. And really, really focus on my lead generation, having those 20 conversations every day. I write them down every single day. I track who I spoke with. Maybe we should send a card to someone. I also break down, okay, who are my top 10 leads that I want? Who are the top 10 follow-ups that I need to follow up with today? And track those. Always keep who are the top 10 agents that I want to pour into and chat with them about eXp Realty. Who are the top 10 people in my database? We're having a Thanksgiving pie giveaway next week. And just, it's so great to connect with them. And if you don't know what to say when you call people, there's 3 things you need to say. Okay. Hey, how are you? Great, great to connect. I saw on Facebook you were at soccer next month. So the first is, hey, how are you? How's it going? Number 2 is invite them to an event. This time of year is a great time. Invite them to a pie giveaway or invite them to a seminar or something. Invite them, add value. And then the third is, do you know of anyone that has any real estate needs or questions? So it's pretty simple, those 3 things. And, we have to pick up the phone and have conversations and connect with other people. So I know we have about 1 minute left. I don't know if anybody has any questions. If so, pop in. If not, I think Verl Workman's going to jump on here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tom. Was amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's really good, Tom.
Well, thank you, guys. If
Thank
you
you,
ever
Tom.
need anything, feel free to reach out. And I think Verl Workman's going to jump in here in about 1 minute. So hang tight. And now y'all got your inspiration. Time to put into perspiration. Thanks. Have a good day.